What's going on, everyone? So today we are taking a look at the anticipated Fission Trail that will be dropping very, very soon. So you can see this is a cool special edition stamp. We got some beautiful greens and golds against this blue. Totally not biased on blue. But anyways, we're gonna take a look at this, see how it feels, and then most importantly, send it through the air to see how this flies. So I'm also going to be comparing this up to a couple trails, just so we can see more of a stability comparison between the few. The three that I have are going to be, this is the one that I actually bag. This is the special edition first release Neutron Trail. Throughout my experiences of throwing trails, this has happened to be the most stable run. And then we have the stock run trail, Neutron Trail. And then we also have a Proton Trail. Now, unfortunately, you can't buy Proton Trails unless it's from somebody that had that quick little MVP Pro Shop run back the end of last year, or you were lucky enough to get one of these in the Gyrapalooza box. But we will be throwing it and comparing it to all three of these out in the field here in about a minute. But I just quickly want to go on the feel. You can already hear that right now. I don't even need to put this up towards the mic because no matter what, you can hear it, how pop-top-ish that this Fission Trail is. So just to put it up against the Neutron Trail, so that's going to lead the question before we get on the field. Is this Fission Trail going to be super flippy and just a roller all the time? Or is it going to be providing that extra more push or glide and be a bomber of a trail? We're about to find out right now. I'll start out with my special edition Neutron. Pretty much I'm going to release all these discs on my natural release, which is not perfect flat, but just a touch of hyzer, and you'll see how this reacts. A little bit of turn, then a tiny little finish at the end, and not too far to the left from that straight line. Then we have a Neutron, stock Neutron Trail. That one's actually newer and a tick more stable than it looks like, but that first special edition trail, when I first got it, wasn't even like popping up to flat. It was just a straight flyer. Whether you were releasing that on hyzer, flat, or on Annie, it was just gonna hold that line. So now we have the Proton Trail. That one, wow. That one was released on a little bit more hyzer and definitely flipped up and turned a lot more than those first two so far, which is a little bit surprising. And now we have Super Dome Fission Trail. Wow. And that, yeah, that for sure definitely went the furthest. Didn't turn as much as I thought it would. I gave all four of those discs pretty much the same power, give or take. And that Proton Trail definitely was the flippiest out of them so far. But that Fission flipped right up to flat and just glided definitely further. I'll go up, collect the discs, see how much further we were with that Fission Trail, and we'll come back and we'll do some more flights. So first flight results, we had pretty much the stock run Neutron and my special edition Neutron, the closest ones to us. They were probably within like 15 feet in terms of distance from us. The Proton Trail, that seemed first flights to be the most flippy, was the second to last, and then the furthest one was the Fission Trail by about 30 feet. This didn't flip up and turn as much as that Proton did, weirdly, but we're gonna definitely throw some more throws here just to make sure that this Fission was no placebo. So same order will do. Okay. And I'm gonna, again, release all of these on like a, my standard semi-flat to baby hyzer. Special edition first. Got a bit more turn out of that, and coming back, beautiful flight. That one was a nice distance. Now we got the stock trail, Neutron Trail. Got on that one held a little bit, then finished beautifully. We got the Proton Trail. I'm not gonna try to think about it. Wow, yeah. Wow, I did actually put that on more of a touch more of hyzer, and that flipped up and then just held the turn. And towards the end of its flight before it hit the ground, it really wasn't panned out that much. So that one is showing a little bit more understability than the others. And now we have the Fision Bomb Trail. Some nice turn, coming back, and that one again, maybe the furthest one. Let me go check. All right, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna give each disc a bit more height, and I'm going to push it on a little bit of turn just to see how it reacts, if it holds that line fully, turns into a roller, or starts to pan out before we get down onto the ground. So we have Neutron Special Edition up. That is starting to pan out, and hyzer onto the ground. So that was the Special Edition Neutron, which definitely is more stable. Like I said, it is the most stable trail that I've thrown. Still lives up to that. Now we have the stock stamp trail, Neutron Trail. Try to replicate that same line. That one is fighting out of it. Not bad. Now we have the, obviously if I put these discs and just rip them on crazy power, they're gonna be rollers. That's not what I'm trying to do. Dialing it down a little bit just to see if they do fight out or just hold that line. So we got the Proton Trail. And started to pan out at the end, but it's certainly, that Proton one was certainly holding that line a lot more. And now we have the Fision Trail. Okay. And that flattened out right at the end, little touch of hyzer. That was nice. That glided, I think, more than any of those. I'll go up and confirm that. But yeah, the Fision definitely feels a lot more glidey, but not glidey to where it's a lot more understable, if that makes sense. Very cool. Of course, if I'm gonna throw any of these trails like a nuke, they're gonna turn into a roller. I'm not throwing a trail powered up to like I'm ripping the crap out of a disc or a nuke. I throw different speeds, different shots. I'm not just that person that throws everything 100% of the power all the time. You gotta have some touch and some shot shaping to not just rip stuff. But anyways, let me go collect those and we'll see where we're at. So I did forget to mention at the beginning of the video, this is a 169. It is the highest weight that we had available to test out. I would have grabbed, or like to grab, something over 170, but you can actually get these Fision Trails in a, I believe, 145 up to 170 or so. One quick thing that I think is pretty important in terms of hand feel and the confidence of you throwing and releasing this disc. This is, like I said, a super domey version of the trail. If you wanted to blind test me and put both of these in my hand behind me, I would tell you that these are two completely different discs. Aside from, yes, the width of the rim, but the underside of the disc and then the over part of the rim being super domey versus not, definitely creates a complete different characteristic to this disc. But what I was getting at in terms of hand feel, you may not mind it, or you may have an uncomfortable hand feel with something super domey like that. Not necessarily just MVP, but an MVP super domey disc you just may not like, but definitely grab one of these, see if you like it. The flight is pretty awesome. Definitely, I would say, a bit more pushy than any of these. So like I said, this Fission Trail Special Edition is the one that I bag. It is the more stable one. I actually favor this, not necessarily over this Fission, but this is definitely my go-to that will be staying in my bag. I haven't really thrown much the regular stock stamps, and this is my first time throwing this Proton. Proton is definitely way flippier than I thought. I would say it is a touch more understable than the stock stamp one. And then the Fission, I would say, is very comparable to the stock stamp Neutron, maybe a touch more understable, but with a lot more push and glide. This did tend to fly a little bit further on most of the throws. The Proton beat it out, I think, once, but for the most part, this did fly further. And who knows, I'm definitely keeping this in my bag for sure, but I may put this in my bag as well as a complement, because this is going to be a bit more understable and a bit more pushy. In terms of something that is like super flippy, yes, I can make this super flippy by just like ripping the disc very hard. But I already have a slot in my bag for that like super flippy that's gonna stay on turn and then continue turning. But these may complement each other very well. If you have a Neutron, or especially the Special Edition, will be the most contrast between this and then that hand feel. I had a Fision time lapse. It was one of the first run Fision time lapses once they came out. That was an absolute bomber. I kept it in my bag for maybe like a month or two, but for some reason that hand feel just did not feel great, and my releases weren't that crisp as well because of maybe the not perfectly like comfort hand feel. If I put both of these together, the Neutron definitely feels a lot better in my hands, and I have pretty big hands to begin with. So this definitely feels a lot nicer in my hands than what this does, but it doesn't feel terrible. But it's definitely a different hand feel that definitely check one of these out to get your hands on them. So that's pretty much just a quick look and flight out of the new Fission Trail Special Edition. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you are super hyped to get one of these, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below what you thought about the different flights. If you've seen a Proton Trail, or if you've thrown one yourself, definitely let me know down in the comment section as well what you think, or if you're super stoked to get your hands on a Proton, hopefully down the line very soon. I believe these are going to be Q4 is what I'm pretty sure MVP released, but these should be coming out very soon. I am filming this before the actual release date has been confirmed, but I will be sure to put that down in the comment section and the video description as well. So if you are looking to get your hands on one of these Fission time lapses, they are absolute bombers for trails for sure. So you can definitely head over to DYELICIOUSDiscs.com, and you can also use my code NOHASSLE10 to get yourself 10% off this Fission Trail, a plethora of many other discs, as well as all of your other disc golf needs. So definitely check out DYELICIOUSDiscs.com. Appreciate it. Special thanks to Ivan for letting me check out these discs and to use as a comparison for this video. So next video, I will be throwing this trail a lot more, paired up with somebody with a slower arm speed, so you can see the difference of flights that you will get out of these. So definitely stay tuned for that, and please hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed to the channel already. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.